This is the NHL News.
Welcome back to Long Island. The Islanders and Penguins tied at 4 after 2 periods of play. Time for our NHL 5-star update. We're going to show you how the Montreal Canadiens eliminated the Buffalo Sabres from playoff competition. They swept them 4-0. The Sabres were playing without Mogilny and LaFontaine, and Vincent Damphousse got the Canadiens off and running. And then Kevin Haller also scored. The Canadiens had a big lead in the game, but Buffalo was able to score a goal with just 12 seconds left to tie the game. Bob Sweeney was the guy who scored it, and the Sabres had new life. They were going crazy at the odd in Buffalo, but then they went into overtime after that, and Kirk Muller delivered the overtime game winner, and Montreal went on to sweep the Buffalo Sabres 4-0, and they will play the winner of this series between the Penguins and the New York Islanders. Kirk Muller scoring the big goal to end the season for the Buffalo Sabres. Toronto and St. Louis, tremendous series there, but Toronto really took the advantage. They now lead the series 3-2. They won last night's game 5-1. Rouse scoring to make it 2-1. Big hit on Garth Butcher. And a power play goal by Rouse made it 2-1. They went on to win it 4-1. Borshevsky, they won it 5-1, excuse me. Borshevsky scoring a big goal for Toronto. Of course, he has scored a few of them. He's the one who scored the game-winning goal against Detroit to eliminate them in overtime. Toronto leads that series 3-2. Tremendous game last night between Vancouver and Los Angeles. Gretzky with a goal to make it 2-1 LA. Trevor Linden, a 3-3 tie. It went to the third period, tied 3-3, stayed that way for one overtime, went to another overtime. Luc Robitaille robbed a couple of times by Kirk McLean, and a guy who was acquired by the Los Angeles Kings in the trade with Detroit that sent Paul Coffey to the Red Wings, Gary Shuchuk, scored the biggest goal of his life in double overtime to win the game for the Los Angeles Kings. The final score 4-3. The Kings lead the series 3-2, and it's going back to the Forum tomorrow night in Los Angeles. So Wayne Gretzky with that dream alive to be able to get a Stanley Cup for the Los Angeles Kings. We're going to show you the table that Mario Lemieux used at the office of Jimmy Kittleberger, the Penguins physical therapist. He underwent traction there a few days ago, enabled him to start feeling better again, and he was able to come back and play in Game 5 and play well for the Penguins, and woke up the next morning pain-free. Said he felt great today and has certainly looked himself in this game here tonight. And Jimmy Kittleberger certainly should be commended for the work he has done with Mario Lemieux to keep him in shape as much as he possibly can and feeling well. And that table came in handy. Lemieux had used that a year ago in the playoffs and came back to use it again a couple of days ago, and with much success. Well, the Penguins hoping to have success here in the third period. They've shown a lot of heart in this hockey game. They were in a situation where they had a major penalty against them, but they were able to overcome that and come back to tie the game at 4. And that's where we stand after 2 in Game 6 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Now you can get a 2-year lease on an Accord LX sedan for $239 a month with just $1,000 down. See your nearest dealer. He'll have all the facts.
See a Western Pennsylvania Honda dealer today.
What could 4 minutes cost if your 800 service goes down? If you're big in the travel business, $240,000. But with us, nobody misses the boat. Introducing the AT&T 800 service Never Miss a Call Guarantee. Now if there's a problem, we can reroute your calls in less than a second. Sign up for the Never Miss a Call Guarantee. It's the #1 reason with AT&T 800 service, it's always smooth sailing. AT&T, the best in the business, guaranteed.
He's been one of Pennsylvania's most respected judges, working in the toughest county. He's Russell Nigro. Nigro took on the politicians and fought for reform. Nigro cut over 300 patronage jobs and was credited with making the court more fair. As one former bar chancellor wrote, perhaps no one is better suited for the Supreme Court at this time than Judge Russell Nigro. For integrity and ethics in our judicial system, in the Democratic primary, Judge Russell Nigro for Supreme Court, Lever 1.
If you've ever wanted a collection of the most spectacular plays by Mario Lemieux, put a tape in your VCR and stay tuned after the game for Eyewitness News Tonight. We'll show you some of the most dazzling career highlights from the king of professional hockey. Stay tuned for the best of Super Mario tonight at 11, only on Eyewitness News Tonight.
Thousands send her money hoping to slim down. Now, Inside Edition investigates whether she's cashing in on your dreams.
After Eyewitness News Tonight.
A 4-4 tie after 2 periods of play here in Game 6 of the Patriot Division Final Series. The latest issue of the Penguins Report takes a close look at the playoffs. It features 2 longtime NHL rivals, the Penguins' Joe Mullen and younger brother Brian of the Islanders. Jeff Daniels and Grant Jennings, 2 members of the Penguins' strong supporting cast, also are highlighted. And Warren Young reflects on his rookie season playing alongside another Penguins rookie named Mario Lemieux. All this and more in the latest issue of the Penguins Report, on sale now at the Civic Arena gift shop and area newsstands. Securicar is your complete vehicle electronics headquarters. The experts for all of your vehicle security stereo systems, cellular phone needs. Beep, beep. Featuring the Immobilizer. That's what we should call Alfie from now on. The Immobilizer. That's a great name. It's been installed in over 1 million cars worldwide without a single car being stolen. Not one. Call Securicar at 771-8008. That's 771-8008. Securicar is the official vehicle electronics company of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
And we'll be back with third period action. The Penguins and the Islanders tied at 4 in this best of 7 series. The Penguins lead at 3-2, trying to close it out here tonight. They've got a tough job ahead of them. We'll be back on the Penguins Hockey Network.
You know, if you had a nickel for every one of the thousands of loans Integra Bank made last year to people and families around here, well, you probably wouldn't need a loan. Integra Bank has the loans you need for times like these. If you want to think of all the discounted loan rates, reduced fees, and other privileges you get with Integra Max as pennies from heaven, go ahead. But be careful. Integra Bank, the loans you need for times like these.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my. Listen, at Foodland this week, get a $10 off coupon on games and stuff for Sundays in May and Kennywood. So stop by Foodland and pick up your $10 off Kennywood coupon. There's got to be an easier way to get to Foodland, Martha.
Say yes to savings with Fikes regular ice cream, only $1.99. LaJoy 5-pack meals, just $2.79. Eckrich meat franks, buy one, get one free. Ultra Game detergent, only $5.99. At Foodland, yes.
Foodland, yes.
She's an assistant bank manager, a real go-getter. But tonight, she's Sally Camp, pizza delivery girl. You see, Sally thinks she has to drive to get great pizza. It's like she's working for the local pizzeria. Come on, Sally. Wake up and smell the mozzarella. Call Pizza Hut Delivery for delicious piping hot pizza. And right now, get a large Neapolitan pizza for $6.99 or 2 for $10.99. Hey, Sal, get off the road and phone it in. Why pick up? Pizza Hut delivers.
Do you believe that our Supreme Court should be controlled by politicians? It will be, unless you vote for independence and experience. Judge Musmano. His name says it all.
Pittsburgh Penguins hockey during the third period is brought to you in part by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer, home of the minivan store, and by the Tribune Review, Pittsburgh's lively, colorful newspaper.
The Islanders led 2-1 after the first period. Mario Lemieux tied at 2-2. Ray Ferraro then made it 3-2 Islanders at 7:22 from Mullen and Thomas. That was a nice play that Ferraro made to dart in there. Show that quick hands he has to beat Tom Barrasso. He's great around the net, Ray Ferraro. The Islanders built the lead to 4-2 on a power play goal. That was a power play goal, as was the goal by Steve Thomas. He came out from behind Barrasso and was able to put it off him and into the net. But the Penguins, showing a tremendous amount of heart, came back. Stevens was the guy who tied the game 4-4. We had these goals out of order, but we'll show you Stevens' goal that tied it at 4-4 at 14:31 from Tocchet and Lemieux. Hit a stick, came right to where Stevens could handle it, and he pushed it past Healy, and then he took a shot from Claude Loisel after he scored the goal. Straka had made it 4-3 with a big goal, in which Jaromir Jagr had knocked the helmet off of Glenn Healy. As he went back, he was being pushed from behind by Dennis Vasky. Vasky really hit him, and then Jagr's arm came up and knocked Healy's helmet off. Jagr got the puck in front to Straka, and he put it in the net.
I'll tell you, Healy almost got back with that puck, too.
Yep.
So we go to the third period, tied at 4. It's like a 0-0 hockey game, and the winner of this game, the Penguins, would move on to play Montreal. If the Islanders win, they force a 7th and deciding game in Pittsburgh on Friday night. Islanders right side of the Penguins, and a Pilon shoots it towards the net. That deflects into the near boards. Losell winded behind the Penguin goal, and Barrasso leaves it for Larry Murphy, but he's pressured by Delgarno. Over to help out is Kevin Stevens, and he'll wrist it out of the zone. At center red, Pilon will drive it right back in. A bouncing puck. Barrasso stopped it. The Islanders scored 25 seconds into this hockey game. Penguins were down on several occasions. They've come back and talk it now to the Islander line. Shoots it off Baskey's blade. Grabbed now by Monacoff, the Islander defenseman. And he'll swing it to the left wing over to Clyde Losell. Losell and the Islanders start to the Penguins zone. Tom Fitzgerald has been quiet tonight to Losell on a wrist shot. Partially blocked by Ulf Samuelsson. Fitzgerald on the right wing boards. Giving the puck over to Steve Thomas. Back to Fitzgerald, and he shoots it. It was deflected. The Penguins come up with it. Taglianetti with a lead pass intended for Lemieux, and he can't get it through. Monacoff stopped that maneuver. Back inside the Penguin line. Ulf Samuelsson backpedaling with 18:51 to go in the third period. The Penguins and the Islanders tied at 4 in Game 6. Jaromir Jagr looking for the puck at center, and he can't come up with it. Benoit Hogue steering the puck over down to Steve Thomas, and he tried to shoot it. Taglianetti blocked that. Here come the Penguins. Look out. Straka right side of Jagr has a chance coming towards the net. Jagr shoots. Save made by Healy from the right wing circle on Jaromir Jagr. Now Straka near corner, handled heavily by Uwe Krupp, but the Islanders get the puck, and they wheel it back on the counterattack to Steve Thomas. One-on-one against Shel Samuelsson. He doesn't have anywhere to go, and they puck off his blade. Loney of Pittsburgh giving the puck over to Martin Straka. Now on to Shel Samuelsson. There's a Traeger on the left side. They get it deep into the Islanders zone, but the Penguins are offside. Who was that guy that got hit?
Jagr.
Jaromir Jagr got belted along the near boards, trying to get into the Islanders zone. He just missed, giving the Penguins the lead.
Well, I had a nice conversation the other day with Joe Malash talking about Glenn Healy and the various weaknesses and strengths of his game. And one thing Joe Malash said, Mike, was he was impressed with the way Healy plays out on top of his crease. He made a nice save on Jagr a moment ago as Jagr cut in on the right wing. There's the elbow by Uwe Krupp. Could have gotten a penalty there. Nothing called. Fawcett standing right there, by the way. Jagr cut in, and Healy just came out, stood way out. Look at that, about 2 feet out on top of the crease to take the angle away from Jagr and make the save on him and kick it to the corner. You figure it out.
Face off from outside of the Islander line. I've seen it all through the playoffs, Snaggy. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised the way it's gone. Here from the Islander blue line, it comes to Vaskey, and Dennis Vaskey slipping back into behind his own net.
Well, Serge Savard was heard on the radio in Montreal yesterday saying that the GMs got together and told the officials that they don't want the game to be called the way it was called in the first part of the year. They wanted to go back to having it called the way it was.
Well, they've done that and some. And the puck returned to the left wing corner now of the Penguin zone.
Serge Savard, the GM of the Canadiens, by the way, in case you didn't know that.
Malikoff and the Islanders now control the puck. From inside their own line, Derek King played it off the board. Jagr looked for it, but he can't come up with it. He's tired. He wants to come off. And will settle into center circle, and Mike Ramsey, the Penguin defenseman, is going to fire that one in. It comes around to the near corner. Malikoff hesitates a little bit, but he does send it on to center ice. Tippett cut it off for the Penguins, and Dave Tippett slammed it back into the left wing corner of the Islanders in. Sean McEachran has seen a lot of ice, and Mullen behind the net comes around with a rip around, and Healy stopped Joe Mullen. The Islanders go back the other way. Steve Thomas trying to go wide on defenseman Mike Ramsey, and Ramsey poke checks it off a stick. Thomas gets it back. Going rink wide to the near side, and it'll be Curvers with a man open down the left wing corner. They set it up for Thomas. A shot, good save by Barrasso, sliding across to make the save on Steve Thomas. And the Penguins go the other way. McEachran trying to dance his way into the Islanders zone. Lost the puck. But it does come through to Wolf Samuelsson. He'll leave it for Joey Mullen. Mullen passing to Tippett, and he can't hold it, but Mullen gets it back. Look out here. Mullen shoots. Oh, he just missed. And it comes off the glass behind Healy. From behind the goal, Uwe Krupp going for the puck. Uwe Krupp, the Islander defenseman, guns his way to center ice. Pushing up to the left wing corner of the Penguin zone. And Waho goes in against Larry Murphy. 4-4 the score. The Penguins and Islanders battling here in period number 3. And a good lead pass to Tippett. He'll come to the Islander line. Shoot it. It came off Kasparaitis. Mullen's going to direct it into Labourge to get off here as the Penguins want to put Lemieux's line on. 16:21 to go in regulation. And along the left wing boards. Ripped back into the Penguins in. Ulf Samuelsson. Throw it around the horn. Stevens trying to take it in stride. He does. A little pass now to Lemieux. He's into the Islander zone. Drop pass back to Tocchet. Tocchet flip it towards the net, but Pilon moved his body in front to deny that attempted shot by Tocchet. And the Islanders cut up ice, and that's Darius Kasparaitis now to the Penguins line. He'll try and shoot it towards a goal. Lemieux racing back to intercept that play. Delgarno, though, on the right wing boards, gets the puck. And around to the left wing corner. Paganelli took a good bump there by the Islanders' Clyde Losell. The Penguins steer it up to the Islander line. Elon comes around the boards, near side. Waited by Tocchet. Where's the puck? It's in the near corner as it comes to Clyde Losell. Tocchet Losell avoids him. Losell just comes to center red. He'll shoot it to the right wing corner with the Penguins in. He'll chase off, and the Islanders' Dalgarno goes in for the puck. He can't come up with it. Played almost 5 minutes here. An intercept there by King in the Penguins' blue line area, but it's offside called against the New York Islanders. We'll return. Pittsburgh 4, the Islanders 4, and the Penguins Hockey Network.
The time has come. The genuine article is on sale. Chrysler's National Minivan Sale. Visit the minivan store at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer for up to $2,600 in total savings on America's favorite minivans. Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, Chrysler Town & Country. Save on quad seating, anti-lock brakes, and integrated child safety seats. The genuine article is on sale for a limited time only during Chrysler's National Minivan Sale. Only at the minivan store.
My mama told me you better shop around, shop around. You better shop around. My mama told me you better shop around, shop around. You better shop around.
I always go to the shopping center 9 out of 10 people use. The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Belle Atlantic cover.
This broadcast is intended for the private use of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without express written consent of Pittsburgh Hockey Associates is absolutely prohibited.
Grant Jennings defensively with Shel Samuelson, and they wind it down to the Islanders' zone. The puck controlled by Malakoff. Malakoff up into by Yager, and the Islanders do feed it ahead to center to Ray Ferraro. On the center circle, and he shoots it into the Penguins' end. Barrasso plays the puck with one arm. He had an assist on a goal, by the way, on Lemieux's goal in the second period. The Islanders can't get it around the net, and the Penguins just feed it over the glass and into the seats, and there'll be a face-off in Penguin territory. Barrasso with his third assist in the playoffs. You know, goaltenders in that category. And a look at Grant Jennings, who has played in every playoff game so far for the Pens, and it may come down to this matchup between Barrasso and Healy. I told you both guys had a chance to go in and focus between periods, and all the attention comes around them now in a tie game.
By the way, I want to mention we showed the second installment of Super Mario series that we're doing on our back checking between periods on the TV side, and the third version, the third in the series is coming up tonight on the news after the game. That'll be during the news, so you want to stay tuned for that. Highlights of Mario's great goals of his career and some other things.
Well, how am I going to see that? Here's Curvers on the left side shooting the puck, and deflects in behind the goal and put right out in front of the goal, and Barrasso smothers that one with his right paw and pulls it in.
You'll have to go home and watch the VCR like everybody else.
All right, and go directly down to the station.
Yeah, you could do that. You could come down. I'll put it in the show.
Yeah. This face-off now in the right circle of the Penguin zone to the left of Tom Barrasso. Penguins out shooting the Islanders 12-9 in the second period. They did the same thing in period number 1. Shots are now 26-20 in favor of the Penguins.
Amazing the way the shots have been held down, but the goals have gone up. 37, 37, 40, 26, and 31 shots. The totals for the Islanders in this series. They have only 20 right now.
And we'll hold to Uwe Krupp in a wrist shot. And that was deflected, coming on to center ice. Krupp once had a giant goal against the Penguins to put them out of the playoffs, if you remember back when he was with the Buffalo Sabres. And Krupp is out here, the right-handed defenseman for the Islanders with Curvers. Paired out, and they have up front, they've got Benoit Hogue with Brian Mullen and Steve Thomas. And the Islanders carry to the Penguins end. They go to the right wing corner. Steve Thomas moves in for it. Ulf Samuelsson belts him. The Islanders ramble into trying to get that puck loose along the boards. Thomas comes out. He has a man in front. Quick shot. Brian Mullen scores. Brian Mullen scores for the Islanders, and he makes it 5-4. What a game he's had. Steve Thomas has been absolutely brilliant. He just outworked the entire Penguin team on that play to set up Brian Mullen.
Ulf Samuelsson and Dave Tippett working the corner. Ulfie lost control of the puck. Thomas stripped him of the puck, came out, put it right through the goal mouth to Mullen. And Joey Mullen had to watch his brother Brian score the goal to give the Islanders a 5-4 lead. There's Joey. He wasn't there. Brian was.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of feeling that is.
A mixed feeling would be the way I would describe it. Maybe not too mixed right now, but maybe mixed later on when he has a chance to think about it. Right now, he can't stand the sight of it. Joey.
Brian Mullen scoring for the New York Islanders. His third of the playoffs, his second of the series. And the New York Islanders take the lead 5-4. The goal at 5:42. And Pilon of the Islanders. Taken away by Ramsey, and Ramsey throws it in. Hogan Thomas, the assist on the goal. Islanders are forced back to their own line, and Mike Ramsey misplayed it down. Garneau trying to avoid him. Gets a step on him. Going to Fitzgerald. Look out. He comes to the net and a shot. And Barrasso kicked that away. Up with the puck will be Mike Ramsey. Ramsey looks for Mario Lemieux. He'll now give it over to Ramsey. Ramsey from his own blue line. Near side. Over to Kevin Stevens. Right wing to Tocchet. He's slowed on the play by Losell. Put the stick into him. And find Losell. Now Pilon upsets Tocchet and knocks him flying. Losell behind the goal. Passing it over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald on left wing, and he'll bank it up the boards, and it comes around to the right side and down the center. Kevin Stevens touched the puck. Jennings now battling one of the Islanders, and that's Del Garneau. They've been hitting each other all night long.
Mike, when this series began, Brian Mullen was playing on a line with Travis Green and Brad Del Garneau. He was considered a member of their checking line, and he has been elevated to an offensive role. And Loisel has been put on that line, and Mullen has responded beautifully. And now this crowd responds to the performance of the New York Islanders. They're giving them a standing ovation here at the Nassau County Coliseum.
The Islanders 5 and the Penguins 4. 13-18 to go in regulation. A win by New York forces a 7th and deciding game at Pittsburgh on Friday. And the Penguins in the history against the Islanders have not fared well in deciding games. They lost in 75, a 7th game, and then lost a 5th and deciding game here at the Island back in 82. Fitzgerald against Straka. And the Islanders have it. Well, the Penguins will try and creep back once again. A shot by Jennings off the right pad of Healy. The Islanders trying to flip it out of the zone. Ferraro has it. On the center, and it will come off the stick of Steve Junker, the rookie, who has seen his third shift, I think, of this game. Bounced up into Islander ice and off Healy. Maskey bumped by Yager, and the puck thrown around the horn. Junker has trouble with it, but he does find a breaking Derek King. And the Islanders step up to the Penguin line. Shel Samuelson stopped the play. Straka on the right wing to Yager. Moves in. He's got a man open left side. McEachran. Yager moves in with a backhander. It's stopped by Healy on the backhander by Yager. Straka gets the puck again. Straka will give the puck right point. Now here's Shel Samuelson shooting. And I don't know where it went. It went wide of the net. Hope Samuelson back it into the near corner. McEachran of Pittsburgh pressured by Derek King. Uwe Krupp trying to get to it. Yager battles him. Now Straka takes over. Straka hit by King. Who will get the puck? Yager is a master going in to get it. Straka digging with that stick. Played it up the boards. It's just good hard work now on the boards, and King wins the battle finally, but they can't get it out. Now he'll carry it out, Derek King. Out to center ice, and Straka all over him, and he'll send him into the glass with a shoulder check. Penguins in digging for it, can't come up with it. Yager trying to sweep away, and here's Thomas stealing. Steve Thomas coming down. Guns one, and he missed the Penguin net as Hope Samuelson would have cut the angle down on him. Sean McEachran of Pittsburgh steps up to center red and flips it softly towards the Islander goal. Penguins hurry to make a change here. 11:53 left in regulation. Brian Mullen guns one to the Penguin net. That's stopped by Barrasso. The rebound goes behind the goal. Steve Thomas of New York couldn't hold on to it. Lemieux dancing up ice now as he comes in. He has a man breaking right wing. Mullen, he'll take it up the corner boards, trying to get there, but Healy read the play and comes out and poked it away from Joe Mullen. And Mike Needham of the Penguins on here. Needham's playing one of the wings with Mario Lemieux and Joe Mullen. Needham is belted. Joe Mullen runs into Molikoff and sends him flying. And the Penguins steer it inside the Islander line. Kerber's giving the puck to Pilon. Outlet pass to center. The Penguins peel back and they have possession. Aganetti to Murphy off his stick. Aganetti should be able to get to it, and he does. And it comes to Joe Mullen ahead for Lemieux. Takes off. Flip it to the right wing corner. Pilon right into Lemieux. Now Kerber's battling. Here are the Penguins behind the net. Needham goes for the puck. Now Garneau shut him off. And they get it out of danger. Less than 11 minutes to go in regulation. 5-4 the Islanders lead. Joey Mullen of Pittsburgh turns it back in. All the games the Islanders have won, the two they've won by 1 goal. They won 3-2 at Pittsburgh and 6-5 here. Stevens with a steal to tip it down with a backhander. Healy the save and the rebound. Stevens fires and he missed the net. Shell Samuelson right side. Head down. Slap shot. Save Healy. Rebound and it's picked up by the Islanders. Loisel, Healy spectacular here in stopping the Penguins. Penguins are throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him. And Shell Samuelson back to take control of it. On the left wing, he'll go to Grant Jennings. Jennings will blast it in. Around to the right wing boards. They dig for it. Stevens trying to get to it. Malikoff beat him to it. Malikoff as we approach 10 minutes left. And Tippett runs into Fitzgerald. And the puck played off the boards and back to the Penguin zone. Jennings stumbles a little bit, but Junker can't come up with it. And remember the Penguins without Ron Francis. He left the game on a major penalty for high sticking. And a game misconduct. Stevens to McEachran shooting, and Healy stopped that one too. Where's the bucket to the right of him? Kasparaitis around the board. Can't get it out. Olaf Samuelson. Played it off McEachran to go to the corner to Kevin Stevens. Tocchet's behind the net. They go back to the left point to Olaf Samuelson. Tocchet's in front. The shot off the right pad of Healy wasn't on the net. Here's Tocchet knocked to the ice by Batsky. And play continues and is poked out of the zone and onto center. Tocchet is getting worked over here time and time again. He goes after the puck, Kasparaitis. Now Tocchet fell down, and Kasparaitis play it at the center to Ray Ferraro. 2-on-1 develops. Left side, Penguins in to Thomas, and he shoots and scores. Steve Thomas scores for the Islanders.
I had a feeling he was ready to break out. You could see it coming in Game 5. Ray Ferraro looked at Barrasso and then moved it to Thomas. And Thomas buried it. The Penguins had pressure in the Islanders' zone for quite some time, but the Islanders bounced back from that pressure and were able to get the 2-on-1 break and score the big goal to give them a 2-goal lead again.
And Glenn Healy has just been superb here in this third period. He's denied the Penguins every chance, and the Islanders have scored twice, and they lead 6-4. Now they led 4-2 in the second period, and the Penguins came back. And again, it's Steve Thomas. Ferraro will assist on the goal. Thomas with a pair of goals and an assist tonight. And the linesmen have to take the fish off the ice.
Well, the fans here are really having a great time. For the first time in a long time here on Long Island, the Islanders are the darlings. Six goals on 25 shots for the Islanders.
And here's Olaf Samuelson directing the puck to Yager to the left wing to Joe Mullen. Back into Islander territory. Taking sure it's goal by the Islanders, and they lead by 2 now. Benoit Hogue. Yager trying to strip him of the puck, but Hogue keeps on coming, and the Islanders are flying. Hogue now stopping, looks in front, and he has Thomas, but he can't get to it. Jaromir Yager with a breaking Lemieux left side, trying to give it to him, and Uwe Krupp steals. Krupp to the right wing. They're looking up for Lemieux every time the Penguins get the puck. And they're stepping in, anticipating. The Islanders steer it into the Penguin zone. Right wing pass to Yager, who comes up the near wing into the Islanders end against Kasparaitis. Stops, trying to go to Lemieux. Intercepted by Fitzgerald. That's what I'm talking about. They're looking for Lemieux and looking for that pass to him. Fitzgerald weave his way back into Penguin ice and stopped by the Penguins Taganetti. The Penguins have a break here. Lemieux's open left wing. Daniels comes in, goes to Yager, back to Daniels. Now to Yager, shooting. He missed the net. He just simply missed the goal. Maybe his best chance of all night, because he was his one-on-one. He hadn't had to work with. Yager gets up slowly, and here come the Islanders returning back to the Penguin zone.
Yager was just cross-checked in the slot by Richard Pilon.
Pilon has gotten away with about a half a dozen penalties here in this game. Literally. He hits you. Tip it now, wide it down to center ice. And the Penguins down 6-4. Shell Samuelson right side comes down and shoots one. Healy will get his shoulder on that. Here's Shell Samuelson and Loisel colliding. Loisel went down, and they're going to stop the play. Loisel colliding with Shell Samuelson, and Claude Loisel to the left of the goal. We'll return the score. The New York Islanders 6 and the Pittsburgh Penguins 4 here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
What, you may ask, is going on? Millions of otherwise ordinary people suddenly disappearing. There's only one answer. A national Big Mac attack.
And here's why. For a limited time, when you buy a Big Mac at the regular price, you get a second Big Mac for just 25 cents. It's all for Big Mac's 25th anniversary. Remember, buy a Big Mac at the regular price, get a second Big Mac for just 25 cents.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
My ideal HMO would offer more doctors to choose from than the one I have now. Would give me access to more hospitals, ones I wouldn't have to go out of my way to get to. And if I'm on vacation, I want to know I'm covered. I guess my ideal HMO would offer me more than I'm getting now.
Rod Liddell appeared to be cut just in front of the right ear, and he came out and took care of that. He got his bell rung too, and he takes a seat on the bench. Well, Ray Ferraro said after Game 5, well, we've had a knack of coming up big in big games all year, and there's none bigger than this one coming up, and we've responded before, and we should respond again. Al Arbor was confident that his team would come back. What a performance by the Islanders here in Game 6.
Now the Islanders are 22-11 lifetime when they face elimination in series. Obviously, they've lost some, and Mario Lemieux with the pen stares on here. But the Penguins still with 7:56 left in regulation. Pittsburgh is showing the ability in this series and throughout the year against the Islanders, too, to come back from deficits, and so we'll see what does happen. The Islanders trying to force that 7th and deciding game at Pittsburgh on Friday night. It's been some kind of series. It really has. Here comes Murphy now, blasting the puck into the Islanders zone. And along the left wing boards, Pilon over to Wolf Samuelson. He lost the puck. Gary King back in on 2-on-1. The Islanders moving again to the Penguins end. King moves in, looks for Ferraro, but it's blocked in front by Larry Murphy. And the Islanders never got a shot off. King at the right wing boards. Gary King shooting towards the net, stopped by Larry Murphy. And the Penguin defenseman will find Rick Tocchet. Tocchet can't get the puck to the left wing of Stevens, and the Islanders rifle it right back in behind the Penguin goal.
Penguins are trying to finesse their way into the Islanders' end, Mike, and all the goals they've scored in this series, a lot of them have come from hard work down low.
Stevens is going to guide it up to the Islander left wing corner. Here's Straka going in against King. Gary King around, pinching in is Jennings to try and keep it in, but the Islanders take it and they slam it off the stick of Rick Tocchet. Back to center, and Larry Murphy of Pittsburgh to Stevens. He moves it against Krupp, and his wrist shot. Uwe Krupp blocked it. Put his body in front of it. And it comes right to Derek King. He'll sail it down the boards into the near corner. The Penguins' Larry Murphy slowed up Benoit Hogue and sent him off his skates. Ryan Munnell against brother Joey. And if this should go 7 games, you can bet your life. Here's a shot by Thomas, and he's built a hot hand. And he missed that time. Thomas steals again from Joey Mullin, walking towards the net. He shoots it, and he just missed. And Hogue puts it back in the net. Rebounded by Brian Mullin. Can't do it. Now Joey Mullin scrambles to get back going the other way. Joey Mullin with 6:28 to go. Trying to get in around the goal, and it goes to the net. Healy comes up with the puck. Joey Mullin up into by Kerbers, and the play goes the other way, and Brian Mullin will whip it to center ice to Uwe Krupp. Krupp now deals it up into the Penguin left wing corner. And Yager going back to get the puck, and he can't hold on to it. Shel Samuelson pulling back to take the puck at the right point. And we get a stop in play. 6:04 to go here in the third. The Islanders 6 and the Penguins 4 in Game 6 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
She lived for the sun. He wanted only the best. Together, they found everything they desired. The Chrysler convertible sale. She discovered the thrill of sun-drenched driving. He found the best, the touch of glove leather. They reveled in America's best-selling beauty. They reveled in the rebate. They reveled in the glorious savings. The Chrysler convertible sale. Don't miss it at your Chrysler Plymouth dealers now.
Look at all these pictures of the pens.
I've got them in color in the Pittsburgh Tribune Review.
The pens in color? I haven't seen that in the PG.
And in the special 4-page Stanley Cup preview, the Pittsburgh Tribune Review carried this illustrated guide to the game.
Holy Toledo, I didn't get that in the PG.
And the TR has the best sports writers around, such as Tom McMillan, Mike Todorich, Steve Samsel, and Dave Ailes.
And you don't get them in the PG.
You get colorful coverage only in the Pittsburgh Tribune Review.
Can I borrow your trib?
Steve Thomas has been a force for the Islanders in this game. I don't know how many shots he has. He has a couple of goals. And I think he must have 7 or 8 shots in this game, Mike.
Now, Bob Johnson used to say, just give me the opportunity. Give us the chance to get there. Give us the chance to get there. Well, what the Islanders are doing now, if they can win this game, they get a chance to get there for the 7th and deciding game and an opportunity to move on. And Badger Bob always talked to his players like that, you know, and say, well, you know, come on now, we're there. We got a chance. We're going to be with the big one, you know. We're going to, you know, always talk like that, and really instill a lot of confidence in his players in regard to that. We just want the opportunity to play it. And the Islanders 6 minutes away from having that opportunity. And the puck return. Well, you can bet your life if the Islanders win, the most sought-after guy in town the next couple of days in Pittsburgh will be Eddie Westfall. Now an Islander broadcaster who scored the game winner for the Islanders at Pittsburgh in Game 7.
Well, in a recent
returned in to Pittsburgh in that series.
That's right. He remembers it well. I'm sure he'd love to talk about it. If you want to talk to him a little bit, maybe we'll do an interview and ask him about that.
He not only had the game winner in Game 7, he also had the game winner in Game 5 to help beat the Pens. And that might have been a short-handed goal. I'll have to double-check that.
Mike, in a recent issue of Inside Hockey where they rated the best of this and best of that, and rated you the best announcer, but they also rated the fans in Pittsburgh the best fans. And I think Penguins are going to need all the noise they can get coming back home for Game 7. And I'm not writing them off here. They got a chance to come back in this game.
Oh, they do.
But if there is a Game 7, Penguins are going to need the kind of noise that the Islanders have benefited from in this game.
Not with the firepower the Penguins have. They literally are not out of it until you sound the horn at the end of the game. And Lemieux has the assignment against Fitzpatrick. Mario won the draw to the right point to Larry Murphy. Murphy left side to Wolf Samuelson. He'll let a shot go, and Healy got a blocker up to make the save on Wolf Samuelson. Stevens is over, and Pilon rams him hard from behind. Now Lemieux and the Penguins with the puck going behind the net. Centers it in front, but nobody there. And here's Stevens flattened again. Picked up by the Islanders, and they dump it down the left wing side of the Penguin zone. Pilon goes after it. He'll get it to Fitzgerald. Look out. He goes behind the Penguin net. Tockett's after him. Turns him around. He stumbles, and the Penguins have it. Tockett takes it down the left side, and he tried to shoot it up the glass, and it got away from him, and it went up into the seats.
Islanders are a team that has played that physical defensive brand of hockey all year long, but it was about halfway through last year when they made the big trade with the Chicago Blackhawks and also with the Buffalo Sabres to provide more offense in their lineup, and that's when Scotty Bowman became very impressed by just looking at their lineup and saying this is a team that can score some goals. They become a very offensive team, and you combine the schooling that they get from Al Arbour in the defense with that skill level that they have now, and you end up with a pretty good hockey club that had the second most wins in the Patrick division this year to the Penguins. And I know the Penguins respected them a heck of a lot going into this series.
And the Islanders leading 6-4. Ulf Samuelsson of Pittsburgh coming up. Shoot it down the boards. Ulf Samuelsson ran into Claude Loussel, and the puck lifted by the Islanders back to the Penguin blue line. Murphy with less than 5 to go now in regulation. Time starting to become a factor here for the Penguins. Stevens on the right side going to Tocchet, and he snaps one off the Kasparaitis block. The Islanders have some young legs in this lineup too. That certainly would not hurt them, and they go to the 7th. They don't have a lot of experience, but they are doing it on just hard, grinding, hard work against the Pens. Kasparaitis from the near corner of the far corner of the Islander zone, and he sweeps it up ice, and this will be an icing call. And Murphy back to touch it. We'll be back in a moment. Final moments here in the third period. Islanders 6, Penguins 4 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
In my beer commercial, it's the League Bowling Championship, and I'm smoking.
Since writing and starring in this Icy Light beer commercial, Tommy has reportedly written a book called From Beer to Broadway, has been romantically linked with a swimsuit supermodel, and has had a monument dedicated to him at the Point. Now, what about you? Isn't it about time you wrote and starred in your own beer commercial? Call the Pittsburgh Brewing Company at 412-692-1101. Unless, of course, you have something better to do. It's a Berg thing.
I'm gonna cross the street, get some coffee. Joey, Joey, bring me back a coffee. And play my number for me, too, huh? 235.
235? Got it. 235. Oh, look out! 235. 325. 325. Oh, hello. Whoa! 253. 253. 253. 235?
You can win no matter how your daily number comes up.
Now what do I do?
Box it.
Box it.
For more ways to win, just say, box it.
Well, the other question that was answered tonight, what would Glenn Healy be like coming after being lifted in game number 5? And he has responded particularly in this third period against the Penguins. He has made some key saves all night long. And yet he's given up 4, and the Penguins still trail 6-4. Here's Straka to handle the faceoff for the Penguins with Jeff Daniels and Jaromir Jagr.
Tom Barrasso has seen a lot of 2-on-1s in front of him in this game. A lot more than the Penguins are accustomed to giving up. We talked about the Penguins wanting to aggressively forecheck and generate offense and be careful and do it intelligently, but that really has not been the case. They've seen the Islanders get a lot of odd man breaks coming up ice after they've had pressure.
And Brian Mullen will start tonight for the Islanders. Up to center red. Daniels going for the puck for the Penguins, and Jeff Daniels with 4:17 to go in regulation, giving the puck to Jaromir Jagr. Now on to Shel Samuelson. The Penguins won 6-3 in game 5 at Pittsburgh on Monday night. And this one a 6-4 Islander lead. It's Straka now to the left point of the Islander zone. To Jennings, he panned on the shot. It's picked up by Benoit Hogue. Hogue rifled up the right side to Molikov. Vladimir Molikov weave his way to the Penguins end. To Thomas on the right wing, and Shel Samuelson punishes him with a check on the boards, and the Penguins do have the puck. Now let's Straka now to Jagr, and he comes over and Kasparaitis just hits him from behind and hurts Jaromir Jagr. Daniels comes after Molikov. Kasparaitis had him on a blind side and really rammed him. He never saw it coming, I do not believe.
I think he got his arm up on Jagr too, Mike, when he came across. It wasn't just a body check. I think he had his arm up on the side of Jagr's head when he hit him. I'm not sure about that, but I think he did. Jagr had his head down. Kasparaitis has done it all year long at center ice. No, he might have hurt his right leg on that. I'm not really sure what happened, if Kasparaitis had the arm up or not.
Oh, he hit him solid. He did not get the stick up. He just punished him.
That was just a punishing body check.
Yep, it was by Darius Kasparaitis. It appeared to be a good, hard, clean check. Jagr was coming full bore, and Kasparaitis, I will say this, he was looking for him.
He's been looking for him the whole series, just like Alfie looks for Cam Neely or whoever it is that has a tendency to be up ice taking those headman passes. Jagr is a very durable guy. He's taken some huge hits in his short NHL career and been able to bounce back from them. A lot of guys would be out for a while with some of the hits that he takes. And this Darius Kasparaitis, don't be fooled, folks. He is big. He is solid. He's got huge legs, and you can see that he is a very, very strong guy. He's like a bull, and he knows how to throw a check. He's got the technique down, and he's got the willingness to do it. He enjoys that kind of game. And he's going to be a force for this team for a long time. He's only a rookie. Pat Flatley referred to Kasparaitis and Molikov as battle-hardened. And what he was referring to was the fact that these guys played in the Olympics and won the gold medal for the CIS. And they've been in some tough battles already in their young careers. Jagr came up. He saw him coming, got out of the way at the last second, and he got his leg cut right out from under him, his right leg, and then went down in a heap. I thought the way he stayed down that he might have gotten his bell rung, but that was not the case. He just got hammered with a solid body check.
Well, Kasparaitis will make you do one thing. He'll make you keep your head up at all times. You know, I don't understand what the delay is now. Jagr's gone back, and now a big discussion here on what's going on. Maybe apparently where the faceoff is going to be. They'll bring it back into the Penguin zone with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the third period. The Islanders with the only 2 goals here in this third. Frame Brian Mullen is third at 5:42, and then Steve Thomas is fifth at 10:32. Benoit Hogue pulls in here to handle the faceoff for the New York Islanders against Dave Tippett. Tippett on here with Joey Mullen and Mario Lemieux. Well, one way or the other, this will be the Penguins' final trip to New York in this area this year, because there are no more games left. If it's a 7th game that's needed to finish this one off, it'll be at Pittsburgh on Friday. The Penguins win the faceoff and they bank it back into the Islanders' zone. Uwe Krupp defensively. 2-goal lead for the Islanders. Turnaround by Tippett, but Curvers has the puck. Can he get it out? He can't. Tippett shoots it. Not much on that, and Healy able to snap it up off the ice and pull it in. Penguins have yet to have an overtime game yet this year in the playoffs. The Islanders had 3 against Washington, 3 consecutive games. Games 2, 3, and 4 in the series and won all 3 of them. They have won 9 straight playoff games here at home. They have won their last 7 in overtime overall, and they are 28-7 in overtime. And Mario Lemieux will now take the face-off of the Penguins as Stevens moves up to the left wing, and Mullen will handle the right.
Interesting how the tables have turned. 10 years ago, it was the Islanders, Stanley Cup champs, who were being threatened by the Penguins.
Mullen now from the face-off, put it in front for Stevens. Came off a leg, and Kasparaitis over to Steve Thomas. And that was after the Islanders had won the first 2 games, I mean, handily against the Penguins. Pittsburgh came back in '82 to win the next 2 and forced a 5th and deciding game, which was won by the Islanders in overtime. Puck worked into the Penguin zone, and Stevens of Pittsburgh. On the center to Mullen, to the right wing to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux shoot it towards the net, not much on him. Mullen's up in it by Pilon. He has knocked down Penguins all night long with a stick and knocking them down the entire night, and he hasn't been called yet. Puck out of action. Pilon now looks at Lemieux.
Well, I talked to Healy today about the fact that the Penguins were generating offense from behind him, and how should you deal with that? And he said, we got to knock people down in the slot. Those are the guys that hurt you. It's not the guys behind the net. It's the guys that are in front. You got to make sure you take them. Pilon just dumped Joey Mullen as Lemieux threw the puck at the goal mouth. You can see Lemieux look back over his shoulder at Fawcett for a penalty.
Forget it. He's not calling him. He's not going to call him on him. You know, the problem the Penguins have here, too, they answered against some of the situation the Islanders have continued here tonight by going after the Islanders physically, and they ended up penalized on every play. I mean, it's just been the opposite. They've been calling penalties, so they're in a tough situation here.
That's why coaches say initiate, but don't retaliate. It seems like in this league, if you initiate the hits, then you're basically rewarded for it. And if you retaliate to those hits, you get penalized.
Well, 2:46 now left in regulation. Top of the circle to the right of Healy, and the Islanders win this faceoff. Malikov hit against the glass by Kevin Stevens. Caskey's got his arms wrapped around Tocchet, and he'll whack him. And now the Buck Mound penalty coming up here, and finally, I think it's going to be called against the Islanders. It'll be a high stick against Fitzgerald. Vansky just hog-tied Tocchet around the net. He finally had enough and pushed him away. And then Fitzgerald or one of the Islanders pulled down Lemieux in front of the net.
This could get interesting. Fitzgerald won the draw. And Lemieux went to the front of the net. Fitzgerald put the stick into his ribs and held him off. Stayed right with Lemieux and got the stick up and hooked him right off his skates. Meanwhile, Vansky had Tocchet behind the net.
Watch this play here. He just completely smothers his arms around him and holds him.
Yeah.
What? Now, Tocchet just had enough of it. That's it. And Vansky says, why wasn't there a penalty?
Because he initiated, see, and Tocchet, he retaliated. The forces that are at work. Scotty Bowman with that calm demeanor and all that playoff experience. You'd think that he'd have an edge, but there's a guy on the other side, Al Arbor, who's his match almost, very close. So that's what makes it so interesting. When you go to Game 7, both of them are going to have the right things to say. You know that. We used to kind of run down the various advantages and disadvantages, and there is no advantage in coaching, I don't think. They're a very slight one if you want to give it to Scotty just because he has more wins than Al Arbor does.
Well, the face-off will be in the circle to the right of Glenn Healy. That was at Barrasso, and they have that opportunity to possibly pull him too and go with another attacker. 5-on-4 right now. Lemieux with the pins against Hogue. Left point, it comes to Murphy of the Penguins. Shoots it towards him, and he goes in! The Penguins score! They make it 6-5. Well, great balls of fire. Murphy on a screenshot on Healy, and it's now a 6-5 hockey game. The Penguins get a power play goal, and it's 6-5 with 2:32 left in regulation. 17-28 the time of the goal by Larry Murphy.
Lemieux won the puck. Back to Murphy. Murphy shot it, and it hit something on the way in. I thought maybe Yager got a stick on that.
No, I didn't really see it hit anything. I saw Murphy shoot it and go through traffic. I didn't.
It hit Stevens.
Did it? And Kevin Stevens may be getting credit for this goal. A little late.
Now the only noise you hear in this building is they're way over there. If you were over there, you could have heard it. The Penguins cheering as that puck went into the net. And they're still very, very much alive in this hockey game. And now the Islanders fans stand on their feet, Mike, to try to get the Islanders going again.
Well, they haven't announced the goal as of yet. We'll just go on with the play. Kasparaitis. It is going to be Stevens. Stevens will get credit for the goal from Murphy and Lemieux. And the Penguins make it 6-5. Here's the play back into the Penguin zone. Murphy from behind his own net. Comes on to center ice to Kevin Stevens. And the Penguins ramble up to the Islander line. Stevens coming down. Pilon just knocked him off the puck. And Richard Pilon around the boards, runs into Tocchet. They'll battle the net now. Pushed right in on top of goaltender Glenn Healy. And play is whistled down. They'll face it off in the Islander zone with 2:03 to go. Stevens is fifth. From Murphy and Lemieux is second of the night for Kevin Stevens.
By the way, Darius Kasparaitis yesterday smashed his Mercedes-Benz into a light pole here when he was pulling out of the parking lot, and he had the thing hooked up onto the base of this pole, and they had to bring the crew out here from the Nassau County Coliseum to help him pry his car loose.
He backed into it, didn't he?
He backed right into it. Boom!
But he got stuck.
He must have gone 100 miles an hour backwards. And I think earlier in the year they told us he spent $6,300 for a new suit. And from what I understand, he doesn't have a whole lot of money right now. He's got a Mercedes and a $6,300 suit to wear when he's driving it.
Yeah, but he's having the time of his life.
He sure is.
Face off in the Penguins end. He's out here now against Mario Lemieux and crew, and the puck in the Islander zone poked into the near far corner, and Kasparaitis bouncing around but not out. Murphy at the right point with 1:57 to go. Shoots it towards a goal. Loose in front, and the Islanders come up with it. Richard Pilon on to Dalgarno. Man behind the fence is Loisel. Murphy gives chase to him. Loisel pulls up. Looks for a trailer. Has him in Kasparaitis when he can't shoot it. Tocchet reached in to poke it away. Here come the Penguins now, down by one, and Stevens onto the Islander line. His pass intended for Lemieux, and Kasparaitis got a piece of him. He couldn't get over to get it. At center ice, the Penguins steer it in with 1.5 to go now in regulation. 6-5, the Islanders lead. Penguins trying to get back here. Shel Samuelson should have played that puck. He wanted an icing call, and he elected not to, and the Penguins waste some time as they have to go back. Give away by Shel Samuelson to Steve Thomas. Got a man in front, Brian Mullen, but he can't get it through to him. And Yager with the Penguins with 1:13 to go. On the center to Joe Mullen. Mullen working up the boards and just inside the Islander blue line. Baskey, the young defenseman, getting out here in a critical situation. Brian Mullen, Shel Samuelson came over. He couldn't get to it. And Mullen, the Penguins, turns around. He can't come up with it. 58 seconds to go. The Islanders lead 6-5, trying to win this game and force it to a 7th deciding game in Pittsburgh. Taglianetti with 50 seconds to go in regulation. When will Barrasso come off? Taglianetti plays it off the boards and inside the zone. Barrasso does come off. Yager goes for it. Penguins put the extra attacker on. It'll be Larry Murphy joining the play. Yager in the left wing corner. Pilon trying to get it out. Murphy's over for the Penguins, digging for it. Now Stevens going to Yager in front of Murphy. It went right by him. Open net. Brian Mullen forces it out of the zone and on down to the Penguin line. 28 to go. Here's Taglianetti ready to race back in. Shoots it in. It comes to Yager. Yager with the Penguins. Trying to fire it. It's broken up. Krug shoots into an open net. Islanders win. This one away, it appears, with 17.3 seconds to go. And isn't it something? An Uwe Krupp once again figures in on a goal that will beat the Penguins. Not for a series in this situation. But he's a guy I got to fear the most if we go to 7.
He found the middle of the net from all the way back in the zone. Could have been an icing call if he misses, but he put it right between the pipes.
It's a good thing he did, because Al Arbor would have been turned it even even more gray. The Islander bench alive and happy. Wow. Now they're going to force a 7 kick.
Yep.
Ferraro lost the puck, and it'll be Uwe Krupp, this hard-working Islander unit, hanging on to defeat the Penguins. Starting to become a high-scoring series. And who knows what will happen. Jennings now coming after Derek King as play is coming down to the end of it. And finally, 1 second to go, and it all breaks out at the end of the game. Stevens ushered away by one of the linesmen, Wayne Bonney.
You know, Mike, it occurred to me that Jaromir Jagr had the chance to shoot the puck. He came to the Penguins in a draft as a result of the fact that Uwe Krupp scored that goal to eliminate the Penguins in the playoffs. Look at Healy.
Well, the Islanders have played their last game against Pittsburgh here this year. Will it be the last for them? We'll know after Game 7 on Friday night. Final score here tonight. The New York Islanders even the series of 3 games apiece. They defeat the Penguins. New York 7 and Pittsburgh 5 here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Relive the Penguins' dramatic charge to the top of the Patrick Division in the official 1992-93 Penguins highlight video. Be there for Mario's courageous return. See the softer side of Ulf Samuelsson. Cook dinner with Rick Tocchet.
What is this, a Julia Child?
Plus all the action from every playoff game. Order now. Send $19.95 plus $3 shipping to Penguins mail order, Civic Arena, Gate 9, Pittsburgh, PA 15219. Or call 412-391-PENS. 412-391-PENS.
Chrysler minivans, over 3 million sold. That's more than all others combined. They're #1 in the hearts and driveways of America. And they're now on sale during Chrysler's National Minivan Sale. Visit the minivan store at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer and save up to $2,600 on Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, Chrysler Town & Country. Save thousands on quad seating, anti-lock brakes, and integrated child safety seats. Chrysler's National Minivan Sale, only at the minivan store.
First, they tried to stop him with a backroom deal. Now the political bosses have tried to force him off the ballot. But this is one judge they can't control. Judge James Munley, the only candidate for the Supreme Court who's fighting to keep the power of picking judges in the hands of the voters, not the politicians. Judge James Munley, decisions to stop criminals from getting off on technicalities, the courage to impose the death penalty. Judge James Munley, our judge, not somebody's politician.
If you've ever wanted a collection of the most spectacular plays by Mario Lemieux, put a tape in your VCR and stay tuned after the game for Eyewitness News Tonight. We'll show you some of the most dazzling career highlights from the king of professional hockey. Stay tuned for the best of Super Mario tonight at 11, only on Eyewitness News Tonight.
Thousands send her money hoping to slim down. Now, Inside Edition investigates whether she's cashing in on your dreams.
After Eyewitness News Tonight.
Well, the Islanders winning it over the Penguins. Steve Thomas, appropriately, the way he played tonight, had the game-winning goal in the third period for the New York Islanders. Penguins outshot them 12-11 in the final period, 36-29 of the night. Let's go to the game summary.
First time the Islanders have been outshot, Mike, since the first playoff game they played this year against Washington, and didn't matter, did it? They outscored the Penguins 7-5. Steve Thomas with a 4-point night. He just busted out at the right time. Ferraro with a playoff-leading 12th goal on the power play on that major penalty to Ron Francis, which was obviously a big part of this game because Francis was not available to the Penguins in the third period when the game was tied going to the third. Straka with his first 2 playoff goals played inspired hockey in Francis' spot. And Barraza with a third assist of the playoffs for him. Game 7 Friday night in Pittsburgh. Make some noise. Because we had a lot of it here tonight, didn't we, Mike?
Oh, it was a great crowd. This building is alive. The Penguins' history with the Islanders, and we don't want to dwell on it, but to go back to it, they lost in '75 after winning the first 3 games of that series, and then losing 4 straight in the final at Pittsburgh. And then in '82, they forced the Islanders to a 5th and deciding game and lost here with a 3-1 lead in the third period. Watch that evaporate and watch the Islanders win it over the Pens. The 3 stars here, Paul. Kasparaitis of the Islanders, number 3. Benoit Hogue, number 2. And Steve Thomas, number 1. And again, an excellent job by that entire threesome there to play against the Penguins.
And Darius Kasparaitis was the darling of the night with some big hits. And I think that It'll be interesting to see what kind of a game they play in Game 7, Mike. Just if it'll be a real physical game or just what you'll look for. I think they'll just play some hockey in that one, right?
Well, coming up on Friday night, the Penguins against the Islanders in the 7th and deciding game of this Patrick Division Final Playoff Series, and it'll be on KBL, the Sports Network, and also on our Penguin Radio Network coming on board. I'm sure a full house here tonight. 16,297 saw it. Final score: the Islanders 7 and the Penguins 5. The Isles tie the series. For Paul Steigerwald, Mike Lang saying so long on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Pittsburgh Penguins hockey has been sponsored by Pittsburgh Brewing Company. It's a Berg thing. By Foodland, yes, your everyday savings. By Integra Bank, where you can get the loans you need for times like these. By McDonald's, where what you want is what you get at McDonald's. By Blue Cross of Western Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, solutions that make sense. By Cameron Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Classic, the official soft drink of the Pittsburgh Penguins and the NHL. By PPG's Olympic Stains and Paints, America's #1 do-it-yourself stain protects wood beautifully. By Eaton Park, the place for smiles. And by your Western Pennsylvania Suzuki auto dealers. The executive producer of Penguins hockey is Bill Barnes. This game has been produced and directed by Doug Kennedy. Remote facilities provided by Unitel Mobile Video. This has been a PHA Sports presentation.